In today's video, sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms, we're going to review the teasers from the official Facebook page. It includes commanders, it includes some new designs. Well, let's get right into it. The Rise of Kingdoms anniversary is right around the corner. Here's a preview of some of the new updates, events, rewards, and commanders coming with the great 6th anniversary celebration. Make sure to tune into our official anniversary live stream on YouTube this Sunday, September 15th at 15 UTC for amazing rewards and more. Now, I think that this live stream is almost certainly going to reveal to us things like the commander skills, and so be on the lookout for both a follow-up video on my part and maybe even live streaming, reacting to what they're doing. I don't know yet what I want to do. We'll see. The weirdness there is that if they use music in the background, which they do in their update videos, often that means I could end up with a copyright claim or strike on my stream. So I'll have to check in on that and see kind of what I end up doing there. But are you ready for this epic celebration? Let's go, baby. New Horizons, Rise to New Heights, Rise of Kingdoms 6th Anniversary Festival. On the topic of rewards, I will point out that recently Lilith gave 9 content creators $1,000 to give away in 10 $100 increments. Then the people in the streams had to actually complete challenges to unlock the possibility of giving that away. And in my stream, by the way, we got to 9 of 10 challenges completed, but I reached out to Lilith and they were like, yeah, you know what? There was a like challenge, get 1,000 likes. They were like, dude, you got 870 likes. That's good enough. You can give away the reward. So Barry was the runner-up winner and he got the prize, actually, which was pretty legit. So what I'm trying to say is the rewards here could be pretty legit. Okay, they have given away a lot of money recently, which is very cool. So if we move on to this next slide here, they tease performance upgrades. The average frame rate increase of 46% and a 50% large-scale battle lag optimization. Here's the weirdness. This is using a mid to low-end Android device. So good news, if you're on a mid to low-end device, you will see a performance improvement. I wonder if on a high-end device you will see a performance improvement or if they expect you should already be at peak performance. But great news for folks that are on a low to mid-end Android device, and maybe for other folks as well. You'll notice an upgrade from here. The new Archer Commander. Now, hey, look, there's always timestamps in my video. So if you were like, Chisgule, how did it take you so long to get to this? Just use the timestamps. You can jump to whatever you want. But here we've got, and I'm going to mispronounce this because I haven't looked up the name yet, but we'll just go with Lord Moomin Yeong. And let me know how it's actually pronounced in the comments. Archer Garrison Defense. The funny thing is that there was I think a little buggeroo recently where you could, for a very brief window of time, see his picture in game. And I saw it, and I was like, hey, yo, who is this? I actually thought it was Sun Tzu Prime, but it's not. Alas, it's not Sun Tzu Prime. He says, why are you retreating? Obviously, it's your big bow, Borowski, that is intimidating us. Kind of an interesting suit of armor there. And Archer, Garrison, Defense. I think the defense tree could be very good for anti-swarm. And here's what I'm going to say. The Archers really, really, really need an anti-swarm Garrison. They do. Dido ain't it, man. Great in a pass. Doesn't work anywhere else. The same is honestly true of Eleanor. Great in a pass. My opinion's not that great in other places. So hopefully the defense tree gives him a little bit of that anti-swarm. I think it's kind of there. And the other Archer commander, the Tree of Pearls. And how do you pronounce this? Shajar, al-Durr? Maybe? Let me know in the comments. Archer, versatility, and skill. The pearl's sheen shall never be diminished by darkness. Or dimmed by darkness. Very cool. I really like... the look of the commander is fine. I would say more the design I think is really cool on this commander, where we know from my prior video, you're going to have the option of either using her in a healing mode to match what you'll use with this Garrison, or a damage mode, which is basically what we have from all our archers today. And if you use her as the primary or the secondary, I believe that dictates how her active skill is going to work, which is kind of cool. So looking forward to that. 2024 key story. So is this a new KVK story? Is that what this represents? I'm not entirely sure, but that does look like Ethel in the picture there with the bow, maybe. And dude, look at the heels. Okay, I'm just gonna zoom in. Those are some crazy battle footwear. All right, on the battlefield, I always make sure to bring my heels because when I crazy arrow ninja jump, I want to make sure the heels stick into the enemy. Question mark? I don't know, man. It looks cool or whatever, but yeah, not the most practical footwear. Then new roguelike gameplay. Okay, this we're gonna need to zoom in here. So when we zoom in on this picture, what can we uncover? We see that there's multiple marches. Some are green, some are blue. So is this potentially a multiplayer roguelike adventure? And there's obviously some PvE stuff here, damage, shielding, big animations, whatever. But what do we have here? So there are skills. Some of them it looks like you can unlock as a new skill that you haven't yet unlocked. And this one deals direct damage to all enemies with a target area. Damage factor of 10,000 is pretty big. Mighty Meteor, increase the skill damage dealt by each meteor strike. Damage factor 10,000. And Meteor Rain creates an extra meteor strike but reduces the damage of each individual meteor strike. Reduces damage factor by 5,000. So the roguelike gameplay, here's my thoughts, okay? I love new game modes. I love things that we can do between seasons of KVK. My only hope is that to keep it fresh, that there's real challenge and that there's real strategic choices that you can use to address the challenge. I think the problem with Golden Kingdom in the past is that was really not true. Like, yeah, there's kind of synergy and like, yeah, you either know what you're doing or you don't, but there wasn't really a lot of strategic depth. I think it's definitely more challenging now than it was before, which is really cool. But the weirdness of any new event that they add in this game, as I've mentioned in the past, is that you basically do these events into eternity because the rewards are good for you always. So unlike a game like World of Warcraft, where once you have all the gear from the dungeon, you don't go to it anymore, this needs to have a lot of replayability in a way that getting loot in other games doesn't. So I'm hoping that is the case, all right? But very cool to get new gameplay between KVKs, especially because my KVK now is just ending. And on the topic of things to do, new anniversary events. So apparently you can get a legendary commander unlock, I think is what that's showing. There's potentially an upwards of 100 gold heads, which I'm definitely hyped for. And 16,000 gems is a lot of gems. So I don't know how they arrive at that math, but we've got a couple things here. We see there is the Rise of Kingdoms yearbook. There are sign-in spoils. There's an anniversary shop. The Circus of Wonders. Yes. The Circus of Wonders is pretty funny. Everybody basically puts in, something like $5 for a raffle ticket, and then you just hope you win. And like some number of people win really, really big. And your goal is to basically not win an early prize as long as you don't get eliminated and you make it to the very end. Like, congratulations, you get some really insane stuff. But a small number of people get it. Overall, kind of fun though, honestly. Look, it's actually kind of fun. Then the Grand Reunion, I don't know what that is, but that's got to be an anniversary related event. Oh, Desert Tracks is coming back. Okay, that's cool. And then other events as well. Desert Tracks has got to be where some of those legendary commander sculptures are coming from. Desert Tracks, I mean, hey, you need a commander, spend the money, do your thing, cruise on through the Desert Tracks. You get a lot of sculptures, as I recall. Also, a lot of materials. I've covered that in other videos, though, and I'll have a card in the end screen, all right? Now, with regard to the graphical update, redesigned Ark of Osiris map. Kind of a neat design here. They obviously give a lot more of like a Nile sort of a feel, where I guess in the middle is where the desert is, but on the outskirts is more of an oasis. This is presumably your starting area, and this also has big implications, sort of. Does this rearrange where people were starting? And are those actually roads that accelerate your march speed? Probably not. It's probably just visual, but pretty cool look overall, honestly. I don't think there's anything else we can glean from that other than the fact that there's boats on here. And in my opinion, the direction for the game should be like a seaport alternate minigame thing as the next sort of thing they add to Rise of Kingdoms. That's where I think they should go. T6, by the way, canceled. If you've been subscribed to my channel, you know that. But I think the direction should instead be like a not like a mini game like the sea battles we have today. I don't think that's really not it. I'm looking for like a sort of a theme park at sea, and I don't know how else to describe it other than that, you know. But I used to play MMORPGs a lot, and a theme park is an area you'd go where you'd have a lot of stuff to do. And I feel like doing something with like a dock or a seaport in your city as a new building, as the vehicle for like having a special alternate place of doing stuff would be cool, my opinion. Whatever. The lore behind how it is your city cannot be at sea and you've got a seaport. I don't have to figure that out. Someone else can figure that out. So there also are some graphics upgrades, and I'm going to be honest with you. Some of these, is it better on the right than on the left? I'm not sure. Okay. I think there is an effect being done where they are changing the background to make the sort of commanders stand out more. That I can sort of see, sort of like a blurring of the background. Whereas like on the left with Ethelfled here, the background is a little bit distracting. And on the right here, it's not as much. They removed the circle pedestal, maybe, that she was standing on. You can see the fox is a little more crisp. Like the colors are more vibrant on the right, more saturated, which I think matches the new design. Minamoto's in completely a new pose, which, like, I don't know. I used to work in tech, and I know I've mentioned that many times in the past, but marketing folks always want to rebrand, and it's just like why? Like, isn't this just a waste of time? But under the assumption that these new graphics attract more new players, then that's a huge win. But for me personally, you know, the difference between the left and the right, it's not changing how I think about the game personally. And we've got more graphics over here. So the Richard the First, the before and after, you can see the axe is a little bit different. There's definitely more detail on the right on the gauntlets, which I kind of like. They removed the jeweling from the axe, which I think makes sense. And instead, they've got a leather strap around there, which might actually have been what was used for grip at some point. Although, I guess it's wrapped decoratively to reveal some of that gold handle. All in all, though, like, I got the same feeling that I had before. His face looks a little different. I mean, I suppose there's a little more detail to the face. You kind of can't see his eyes on the left. But, you know, I once again enter that state of like, does it matter? I will say somehow Alexander the Great here does look much more heroic in the one on the right. I do think it's kind of funny that I only now notice that, like, if you put your hand by your side, how far down your leg does your hand really go? For me, it's like, I don't know, if I have my fingers open, it's not even the middle of my thigh, right? But his hand, like, I don't know, it goes all the way down to like his knees. He's got some long arms. That's a little weird. But other than the ridiculously long arms, I actually do think this is a much more heroic pose on the right. Like, it seems small, but this to me feels like they actually did something meaningful to the design and made this commander look more heroic. Am I crazy? This is the only one where I look at him, I'm like, yes, you look more heroic now than you did before. I think the cape somehow looks more dashing, which is like, I don't know. Am I crazy? The shield being in that upright position is much more of an action pose instead of like I'm just standing around like a monkey holding these things. I couldn't tell you why. He's now kind of like, hey, we gonna do this or what? Right? Like, he's got a lot more attitude in that one on the right. I actually think this is the only one where I look at this and go like, you changed this in a way that is noticeably better, in my opinion. Right? Do you agree with me, chat? Like, these two, why even have done it? Right? Like, I don't mean to be rude. Right? Like this one, I don't know. I mean, obviously this is like noticeably different. I don't know if I'd say this is noticeably better. I guess I kind of like this one on the right more, the more I look at it. You'd honestly have to ask new players, like, which one do you like more? And just run with that. That's what really matters. I don't know. I guess the more I look at these, the more I appreciate the differences. But the Alexander the Great, I noticed immediately. Like boom. Like, oh yeah, that's good. I expect we'll have a lot more to see on the 15th, but let's look at your comments here. Oh my God. The new Richard, he does have a tiny head. Alexander the Great. Bro, the graphics update is less detail. What is this design? Okay, well, the new Ethel looks terrible. Stop it. Bad design. Wow, people really don't like this. That is actually kind of surprising. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Oh man. Do you like these graphics changes for the heroes? Yeah, the commanders, yes or no? Overall, I'm very hyped for this upcoming update. The key story, okay. The roguelike gameplay could be really cool. I guess I'm mostly excited for the commanders, though. Let me know, again, in the comments. And if you want to see the two commanders kits, I mean, they didn't reveal the numbers, but they revealed what they do. Card will be here and here. Go check out the videos. I think it's important to know what's on its way, because, like, yeah, healing archers, it's going to be a thing. And if you think it's not going to be powerful, I don't know, man. I think you're going to be in for a rude awakening. I think it's going to be really good.